Hello! Welcome to Fat Man's Random Videos. I am Fat Man, and I am here with the little one.
Hello.
And we are going to now do a Resident Evil characters list.
Yay. My subject.
Yeah, I pretty much will defer to you and just give you some opinions.
Yeah. So, obviously not every character, because that would be way longer. But I didn't find any that had, like, all the characters, so I'm going to do this one. Okay, so...
Who's that?
Angela, I think was her name. She's from Degeneration, the first CG movie. So...
I never watched it.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever... I'm going to probably put her, I don't know. She gets points for being Laura Bailey, but I'll put her in the C. Honestly, don't really feel that strongly about her one way or another.
That's probably good then.
Yeah, her brother... What the fuck is his name? I'm spacing on his name, but... Long hair McGee.
Not Brad, is it?
No.
Bill?
No. Curtis Miller, that's the one.
Oh, I would have got there eventually.
Just go through all the alphabet.
Exactly.
Probably C as well. I said not really. I mean, he's kind of just a bad guy, shows up, has a monologue, turns into a monster, typical.
Yeah.
British McGee. Oh. I'm gonna put him at a D, because, I mean, he's just kind of almost stereotypical British bad guy dude.
Yeah.
Billy!
So that's the train dude, right?
I like Billy.
Yeah.
I'll put him in A. Has probably one of the more interesting, actually fleshed out backstories.
That was the guy that was in prison or arrested or something, wasn't he?
Pinned for the murder of, like, 23 people.
That's a big yes.
Well, his unit basically killed them all and then pinned him. The only one who didn't agree with it, they pinned it all on him.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And then he's got, like, cool tattoos. And he's like, oh, I'm a prisoner, I'm angsty and shit.
And this is whom?
James Marcus.
Oh, okay.
/ and there's spoilers all up in this list, so. But, the Leech Queen. That's like his, James Marcus's younger form.
Oh, okay.
Probably B. He's very, like, Shakespearean almost. Very, he's like Final Fantasy level villainy. But kind of funny, kind of entertaining.
So, 2 virus or not 2 virus? Okay.
Rebecca.
She's a little pixie.
She's a little...
Didn't somebody describe her as that once?
Yeah. Who the hell was it? I don't know, but...
I don't know. She got the little pixie haircut. And...
She's kind of cool. I mean, she didn't really do much in the first game, like, character-wise, personality-wise. It was mostly fleshed out, obviously, in Zero. And then Umbrella Chronicles, they had, like, the chapter with her and Richard.
Right.
I would put her next to Billy. There, her boyfriend.
Yeah, because that was in the game with the train. I forget the name of it.
Zero.
Yeah, and that was, you would kind of go between the two characters playing.
Like I said, she's kind of cool. You don't... And then there is, she was in Vendetta. We got to see her again in that. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Didn't really do much. Was kind of damsel in distress. Yeah, I mean, she made the cure, basically. But... And then she got captured and had to be... Barry is S tier.
Barry.
No, he's S tier for the stupid one-liners in the first game.
Yeah.
Peak dialogue. I would dare say put him in, like, a double S for Revelations 2, because he was freaking badass in that one.
Oh, there you go.
Brad would definitely be, like, D tier, because he left the team, was the whole reason, basically, everything happened with that. I'm gonna put him in C, because I liked his characterization in 3 Remake, which is what that picture is from.
Yeah.
Just that little bit.
Well, the thing is, especially when characters show up in multiple games, their iterations are... Yeah, I know. They're different in each game. So you kind of got to do the preponderance of totality then.
Yeah.
Just, oh, yeah, I like him in this game, but I didn't like him in this game. Well, overall.
And they made him a talking zombie, and that was neat.
Yeah.
Chris. My man.
Chris the man, the boulder punch.
Yeah, the boulder punching asshole himself. I've always liked Chris. 7 is kind of the his weird angle, because they changed his design. Looked nothing like him. Sounded kind of like him, but obviously it was a different voice. I mean, they have so many different voice actors, some of these characters. But, yeah, I mean, that was kind of the odd one out. And then friggin', like, this is him from 6. I really loved him in Village. It was awesome. He was all cool and badass and in black, and he's like,
spoiler, shot the lady.
Sorry, Ethan.
Jill.
I like Jill. She's not my favorite. I would put her in S because she's cool.
You don't want to put her in C for the cleavage?
No. A couple times.
Alright.
But, I like her again. She's got a lot of different iterations, different voice actors and all that. Hard to say which one's my favorite. I mean, I'm always kind of lean towards the newer stuff just because they've gotten better with the voice acting and the writing as years have gone on. So the newer stuff is almost always going to be better. But, yeah, Wesker.
Wesker. Mr. Whiskers.
Yeah. He's entered, like, 5 Wesker is entertaining because of all of his freaking monologuing and dialogue, and he's got cringy dialogue in the first. Everyone has cringy dialogue in the first game.
Yes.
But
that, and he looks like Duke Nukem Light.
Doesn't he? Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo, yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, probably.
No, lie to me. Go ahead.
Probably B. I mean, he's a cool character. He's kind of fun at times. But as far as, like, I mean, the whole eugenics thing, that's kind of not anything really that, like, I can't tell. Hold on. I need to confirm. Okay, Carla's there. Okay, so this is Ada.
Yes.
Because there's Ada and then there's Carla. You know, I kind of have a love-hate relationship. I go back and forth sometimes. I'm like, yeah, she's cool, and, like, her relationship with Leon's kind of cool. But then I go back and forth with, like, oh, but she's teasing him, and that's rude.
It's Wong. I can do this all day.
I really like, again, her iteration in the second remake was really good.
Yeah.
Their whole relationship with that. Her coming back in 4 was awesome when, you know, you actually understand what's going on. I played 4 before any other Resident Evil game, so I didn't know who the fuck she was. So I would probably put her in A. You know, just because she's always wearing red, and red's one of my favorite colors, so there's that.
There they go.
She's fun. Annette. I liked her in, again, the second remake. Kind of fleshed her out a little bit more. It is kind of a bum that they kind of had for each campaign her die a different way. So it's kind of like depending on that. It's kind of, so like she has where she can die after giving Sherry the cure. And then they kind of have a moment with that, and it's all very sad.
Yeah.
So I think her in like the original and Dark Side Chronicles didn't really do much. I mean, she's there, kind of a plot point. You know, oh, my husband's the monster. Oh, spoiler.
Yeah.
It's probably B. Claire, yes, I like Claire. Always like Claire. She's not in a whole lot, especially recently. You know, the second remake, and she was in Infinite Darkness, but kind of they kind of dropped the ball with her on that one, admittedly, because she didn't really like. She was there. Kind of had this conspiracy theory wall thing going on.
Right.
And then gets kidnapped for Leon to rescue. So,
yeah, well, yeah.
That. But I really like her design. Revelations 2, Claire was really cool. I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this one, but like, Hunk. He shows up with the team to take out Birkin to steal the G virus. Is the only one that survives, manages to get the sample, and then leaves the city. Everyone fucking loves him. He's the freaking what's his name of
Boba Fett.
Yes, that's the one. He's the Boba Fett, where he shows up, he's in a mask, everyone thinks it's cool. He does some stuff and then bails, and then everyone's got the hots for him. Like, oh, every game's got to have Hunk in the mercenaries, and I'm like, he's just a dude. As a character, F tier. He's horrible.
Oh, he's a horrible person.
But I love his performance in the remake. You know, he really sold just that creepy, pervy sociopath.
Well, then give him a C for creepy.
No, keep him an F.
Keep him an F?
As a character, I mean, he's
a freaking dirtbag.
Horrible human being. Got what he deserved.
All right. We had a little confab here and decided to add another list. Or level. There he is. Well, that's just because, well, you know.
It's fucking Leon. Nothing more needs to be said. Okay, Marvin.
Marvin.
He gets double S. He's cool. Especially in, like, again, the one thing about the recent games, like the remakes, namely, they did a really good job of fleshing out characters that were previously, like, had nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, him in the original, you find him and he's like, find the survivors in the other room, and then turns into a zombie. They made him an actual character in the remake, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And I think is going to tie into the Resi 4 remake, Leon's characterization, basically. Interacting with him, failing to save him, him giving him the knife that Leon still has. Leon's helped to this day. So, double S. Mr. X.
Mr. X.
I'm gonna give it to you. I put him A for his design and impact of gameplay.
You screamed at him a few times.
Oh, look at him. When you got that thing stomping towards you. Because that's a character, obviously. I mean, he's just there. He's just, you know.
Yeah.
He's a bioweapon, sent to kill. That's his motivation. Go. Yeah. Scene. But as far as, like, gameplay and stuff, as an enemy, like, he's terrifying. Until he's, you know, gets either sliced by Birkin in Claire's playthrough, or, you know, he shows up and mutates, but...
Yeah, no, he definitely added something to the game.
Sherry,
baby?
Was in 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Don't get that reference. Sorry, too young.
Anyway. Well, a few more games if you consider all the iterations.
Yeah.
You got Original 0, or 2, Dark Side Chronicles, 2 Remake, and then 6, the adult Sherry. I mean, as a children, whatever, don't care. She's definitely improved in Dark Side Chronicles and Sakura Remake. She's not nearly as annoying in the original. She'll literally run away multiple times until Claire has to basically grab her and be like, I'm not gonna eat you, and then she's suddenly like, oh, I love you. But...
I won't leave that one alone too easy.
Adult Sherry, put her in a B. I mean, it was cool to see her come back, you know, finally. Her relationship with Jake is really fun. Mm-hmm. Other than that, you know, kind of, not anything like, oh my god, amazing, but it's a midline.
Yep.
Berkey Burke.
Berkey Burke, to me, was a whiny little bitch.
She's my creation! Yeah, that's like his one line of dialogue in that game.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Same voice as Frank West in Dead Rising.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little tidbit. Yeah. He's actually one of the few that's had the same voice actor for most of the series.
Yeah.
Taking into consideration, obviously, the original 0, he had his kind of went more into his friendship with Wesker, which was kind of neat. Kind of humanizes Wesker a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because I think Birkin was really, like, the one person in Wesker I think actually maybe gave a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't see. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I like his, obviously in the remake, designs are really cool. The engine, all details of, like, his mutated forms.
Yeah, we could take a C for Crybaby Birkin.
Got us!
I got one word for you, dude. Barber.
No.
Yeah.
We like them up. You know, going by original Carlos is freaking, like, down here because, I mean, freaking, the chicks love my accent that fades in and out. But, like, remake Carlos is double S. Like, he's cool.
Okay.
He's awesome. You know, has more of an actual character arc.
Right.
I really like him. He's cool. Mikhail, which I always thought that name was Mikhail, but apparently it's Mikhail. He's cool. Doesn't have a whole lot of screen time in both the original and the remake. But, like, he means well. You know, he wanted to save the people, get them out. Sacrificed himself to try and blow up Nemesis. Called him Sheepbird, which is awesome. Speaking of Nemesis.
Yes. Nimmy.
I mean, obviously, he's iconic. He's kind of one of the faces of Resident Evil. Like you say, Resident Evil, a lot of people think of Nemesis.
Yeah, true.
Again, as a character, he's just a bioweapon.
He had more... What's the word I want to say? There was more of a character arc with him in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that one was, they were like, oh, he's actually a friend, and we made, and then, oh, he's got humanity in him.
Yeah.
And he died by a fucking helicopter.
That'll do it.
Because in the games, he, mutates, and you have to go through all these different things until he turns into goo.
Yeah.
Turns to Gib. And for his being iconic, I'm put him an A.
Okay.
Kind of has that whole stalker thing. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of a letdown in the remake, admittedly, because they could have done a lot more with that. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot by making Mr. X really good with being a stalker enemy.
So he's Mr. X Light.
For the remakes, yeah, because obviously the second remake came out first, and then that one kind of just felt like they were just going off of that, even though...
Yeah.
And the original Hugh was, the big stalker enemy. Nikolai!
Oh, I remember Nikolai.
I like his voice actor, Neil Newbon. But as a character, as a person, he's shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's an asshole. He's kind of fun to have, some fun lines of dialogue. He was infected.
Yeah.
But obviously he's kind of a piece of shit. Tyrell. I don't know if he really had a role in the original. He was just dude that dies.
I don't remember him at all.
And then in the remake, he was one of, Carlos's team.
Mm.
And they went together to the RPD. Kind of cool. Again, doesn't have a whole lot of screen time to really, know who he is. He does die trying to help Jill. Put him in B, maybe.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Burr, burr, burr.
Okay, so I know a lot of people find her annoying, and even I do. Well, my biggest thing is, if you play the game, perfectly, you don't have her get captured or threatened and taken away and all that, it's fine. But even then, there are still, when you gotta catch her after you let her do the 2 cranks. She's like, Leon! Does the same exact audio.
She's just got a grating voice.
Yeah.
When she whines.
That's the biggest thing is there's no diversity to it. It's literally, the same audio files. They just repeat over and over, and I think it's that repetition that makes it annoying.
That's true. I mean, if they had given her a different yell to get his attention versus when she's in danger, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Which I'm sure the remake is gonna freaking take care of that.
Yeah, we'll see.
As a character, I mean...
She's a character.
Yeah, I don't have this super strong feelings of, like or dislike.
Right.
She has an attitude. She gives an attitude towards Luis for his, comment. We all know.
Inappropriate. Sir.
So I would probably put her in B.
Yeah.
I don't really feel super strongly as a favorite, but I don't really hate her either.
Mm-hmm.
Torres Mendez.
Isn't that the big cheese?
The big cheese.
The big cheese.
He's got a beard.
The queso grande.
Queso grande. Muchos grande.
Something. He's a pretty imposing character.
Yeah, his design is cool. It's the first, again, I have soft spot for 4. That was my first Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think. He's there for the first part of the game, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he bounces. And kill. His design is cool, though. So I'll probably put him in A.
Yeah.
His mutated form, especially, is kind of cool.
Krauser.
The
character everybody should know but didn't when he came out.
I know. The way they did that, it's he's dispose of this swine for me, and he's consider it done. And then it's this big dramatic, musical cue, we're supposed to know that, and it's who?
Yeah.
So with that, he would definitely be lower. Dark Side Chronicles did retroactively
try and fix that.
Yeah, introduce who he was, give him a bit of a backstory, him and Leon's backstory, which I'm hoping in Resi 4 they actually will reference that and go into that a little more.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool.
Yeah.
I like his design.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has some weird thing with Leon.
Little bromance there.
Oh, speaking of bromance. Louis Seta.
Nice.
Put him in S. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool.
He's a little snarky. It's kind of fun.
He will be remembered. Yeah, he's fun. Has some fun dialogue. Merchant, like, friggin'... We'll put him up with Leon.
Yeah.
Friggin' goat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not really much else to say. He's cool. I do hope he has more dialogue in the 4 remake. I want him to reference the Duke. Like the Duke referenced him. I want there to be a reference there.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is he was kind of not thrown in there as a side character, or as a last minute thing. But I think they didn't see him quite as important because you were just going to interact with the menu.
Yeah, he was a way to have the menu.
The transition.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they gave him a lot of lines for that reason. But a lot of people like him. Yeah. And he, like you say, he is pretty cool. So, yeah, hopefully they'll do a little more with him, just to be a little more interactive with him than he was.
Make him kind of like the Duke was. Make him more, not so, like, I wouldn't expect him to be like the source of exposition like the Duke was. But make him more of a character to interact with Leon.
He can have a little bit of exposition, though.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but I don't expect it.
But it'd be nice.
But I'm not gonna be like, it's stupid.
Okay.
Sadler. I want his cloak.
Lord Sadler. He is who he is.
Probably B, you know, I like his design.
You know, the thing about him, he almost reminds me, and you're going to laugh when I say this, I think. He almost reminds me of a Bond character villain.
Yeah!
I mean, he does
Kinda
a lot of...
over the top.
Yeah, a lot of exposition, does a lot of monologuing. You're like, motherfucker, just do it!
Teases Leon a lot with this old writhe in my cage of tournament, my
exactly.
friend type thing.
Exactly.
Like a freaking nerd.
Anyway, all right, enough with him.
I like Salazar. He's a short, angry dude, and I can relate to that.
And he's the Castilian, which is where our last name comes from.
Yeah.
So.
He's a Castellan.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how he is in the remake.
It'd be nice to see him be a little bit more... he was interactive, but it'd be nice to have him more interactive, more snarky.
Focus more on the dark side of it. Because, I mean, really, when you think about it, it's kind of a tragedy. I mean...
Because he's so young.
Not to say such a, commonly thrown around term, but essentially Sadler groomed him into following his cult. Because he was a kid, lost his parents. They don't say exactly when or how, but basically, from the butler's note, he was alone. Mm-hmm. I think Sadler took advantage of that because he needed him to free the parasites.
Right.
So he did that. And then, it kind of just went downhill. But
it is what it is.
He's so angry. And I want him. They need to keep his tantrum in their remake.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Kill him. All right.
Ricardo.
Montalban? No.
No. He's a white boy.
Yeah, I don't really know who he is.
He's from 5. He's I think he was like a weapons dealer, bioweapons dealer type thing, but he was like the one they went to Africa to apprehend.
Oh, okay.
And then he was actually working for like Excella and stuff. I mean, he's got some fun dialogue. His character's kind of funny, cringy. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably put him in C. I mean, like I said, kind of fun, but
Yeah.
Fuck.
Excuse me?
He's a teammate that like she's friends with. He's in 5. The fuck is his name?
I don't know. But as I recall, 5 wasn't my favorite, so I'm...
This is a fun one to co-op.
Yeah, co-op's fun, though.
Josh! That's his name. Haha. I like him. He's cool.
Right.
Put him in S.
Put him in S.
He's like the only one who survives of like the whole thing. Except for obviously the main characters, but like the one-off characters. He's like the one.
Put him in S because he's a shit?
What?
Anyway. Boomer joke, sorry. Anyway. Sheba.
She's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't put her in S too because like she's cool. She's on par with Chris when they're like working together and stuff. It's not like she's having to trail behind him and blah blah blah.
I like the fact that they didn't make her as much of a damsel in distress as they do a lot of other female characters in these games, to where they have to rely to be saved. She's able to hold her own.
She's basically that version of Jill in that she's Chris's partner. I mean, obviously. But yeah, they hold their own and they're able to work alongside him instead of, having to be trailing behind and having to be saved and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And she actually freaking goes to sacrifice herself to save Chris, and PTSD kicks in and he's like, no. Palpatine, I mean, Spencer.
Palpatine.
I mean, obviously he's the one that orchestrated, like, the Umbrella and everything.
He didn't have a whole lot of screen time, though, did he?
No, like, 5 is the only time he actually has screen time.
And that was in the flashback.
Yeah, when he's like, superior race.
something dark side.
I mean, he really is just, like, Palpatine light.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, I put him B because, like, comedy points for that. And, I mean, he did, start the whole Umbrella and blah, blah, blah. So that's instrumental. But as far as, like, his character, what we really, like, get of him, not a whole lot.
No.
Carla. B.
I remember Carla.
She was in 6. She was, like, freaking, what's his name's, like, secretary or something. And then he had, like, an obsession with Ada. So then he used a C virus to turn her into a clone of Ada. And then she went psychopathic for obvious reasons. So, I can kind of appreciate that. She did still try and, like, literally destroy the entire world. It's like, okay, you have a grudge against this dude. Calm down.
Let's not go overkill.
Oh, Helena. She's kind of cool, but she spends a good part of the beginning of the campaign doing the whole coy, oh, I'll tell you, we go to this place, I'll tell you everything. We go to that place, oh, no, I have to wait until we get to this thing, and then I'll tell you everything. And it's like, bitch, just fucking tell me.
Clickbait incarnate?
It's something, because, like, it's like, we gotta save my sister, you gotta save your sister. No, I can't tell you yet. And it's like, okay, we're just going. So, and I think C.
Yeah.
It's cool, but, again, Laura Bailey. Shout out.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Jake Miller. I like Jake.
Jake.
Cool.
Yeah.
I dare say putting them. Yes.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the I don't ship people often, but I'm a fan of, like, big, gruff, asshole dude becomes a freaking pile of mush. Because that's what he did.
Character growth.
Yeah, character growth, development. Because that's what he was with Sherry. He was like this asshole, and even to her was very much like condescending. And then she got like the thing in her back, and he's like, "Do I take it in? I'll leave it out. Take it out and leave it in." Freaking out. And then like after that, he kind of started getting a soft spot for her, and still very snarky. And, Troy Baker.
Hey.
So yeah, he's fun.
Snarky's good.
I like him. Pierce, my boy.
Pierce.
I mean, he didn't have, like, if I'm being honest, like, not a whole lot of distinct personality from him.
Yeah.
Except for slapping Chris around. Because Chris is being all angsty and shit.
Yeah.
But he sacrificed himself. So that honor, it's worth.
Yep. He gets a pass for that one, huh?
And then this is freaking Simmons. Derek Simmons. The one that turned Carla into the Ada because he's a freaking creepzoid. He's got a freaking... Like, that's literally the whole plot of, like... Not the whole plot, but... A big part of 6 was him having an obsession with Ada. So he made her into a clone, and that's what set her off. And then, like, when he kind of starts going... He gets mutated. Because she infects him. And then he circles back to, like, going after the real Ada and be like, oh, we should be together. And it's like, dude, you're a fucking simp. Freak is this guy?
I was kind of hoping you'd tell me.
I'm gonna assume with the other 7 characters is this what the hell is his name? But he's the part of the crew, the TV
Camera crew.
Yeah, the TV crew in the beginning of 7, and then he gets taken. He's like the cameraman or whatever. I can't remember his name.
Man, that's very memorable.
Well, exactly. I mean. He doesn't really do much. I mean, he's there basically for exposition, essentially. To show how fucked up Lucas is.
Yeah, just put him to D just because of the fact that he was kind of a necessary character. But
oh, wait. I'm taking a closer look at him. It's a fucking Ustanok.
What's an Ustanok?
That's from 6.
Oh, okay.
From here, it looked like the bag over his head.
Uh.
These icons are very small. We can't really see them that clearly.
Yeah, even though I got 40-inch screens.
So, yeah, because that's his little mouth, weird mouth. Okay. Apologies, that's the Ustanok. He's a fucking bioweapon.
Okay,
there you go. So he's still D. Because, I mean, yeah, he's tasked with capturing Jake.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. He's a bioweapon, no personality besides that. So, and don't put him in F, because, like, whatever.
Okay.
Eve! I like Ethan. Especially after Village. I mean, come on. He literally went...
Is that his face now?
Yeah, that's his face.
You
can only see it because people basically hacked the game to figure out what he looks like. Because Capcom wants to hide it for some reason. But, I mean, like, he goes through all that shit to rescue his daughter. And, I mean, come on. That's, like, Chad move.
Yep.
He goes through all that. I mean, a lot of people complain that he didn't have personality. And, like, in 7, I think a lot of it was they wanted him to be, like, an audience, a player insert. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he did have, he had the funny one-liners.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, groovy, and he's like, it's not groovy. Obviously, Village greatly improved him. Made him more of a fleshed-out character.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Evelyn. Creepy child.
The spoiled bitch brat.
I mean, sympathetic character, because, I mean, she was basically grown in a test tube to be a bioweapon, so, can't 100% fault her, like 85% fault her, but...
Yeah.
But, I mean, creepy child. C for child.
Yes.
Jack. I like Jack. Jack is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sympathetic, because, I mean, when you look at the Daughters DLC that goes into before they got taken over, and he was like a nice, chill dude.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and Evelyn fucked him up. So, I'll put him there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say his name is Joe.
One of us is gonna say it. Kill mama.
Yeah. Jack's brother.
Oh, okay.
I want to put him one below because he doesn't really get. He's just in the End of Zoe DLC. Don't get a whole lot on him. He's not ever mentioned in the main game.
Yeah.
We just get him there that he's his brother, and they kind of have a strained relationship. So he lives like off the main property. Mm-hmm. But he punches things. That's his attack. He punches things. So because of that, he gets S. Lucas.
Lucas. The serial psycho.
Again, I love his performance. Mm-hmm. Can't remember the actor's name, but, did a really good job.
Mm-hmm. I can picture his face, though. The actor.
But as a character, he's garbage. Because it wasn't even Evelyn. It wasn't even Evelyn. Like, Evelyn was the one that set him basically on that path as far as like, oh, look, I can do this. But he always had
those tendencies.
She just gave him the out. Because even after he got freed of her control, he's a psycho.
Yeah.
A social psychopath. Mama Baker. Again, sympathetic character. She was a nice, caring mom. And then turned into a fucking spider lady.
Yeah.
I put her in B. She doesn't have nearly... Like, Jack is a fun character. I mean, he just has a lot of fun dialogue and interactions. Her, not as much. She's just angry.
Yeah, pretty much.
And psycho. Mia. Again, not a whole lot to her in 7.
No, a little bit on the bipolar side, though.
Evelyn's fault, so can't really hold that against her. She did work for a bioweapons company, so, kind of a villain. Didn't have, obviously, technically any screen time, except for the end of Village. Some little flashbacks, but, I'd put her in B, because, like I said, not a whole lot going on with her.
Yeah.
As a person. Kind of feel bad for everything, but kind of honestly the same with Zoe. I mean, she talks Ethan through with the phone calls and everything. Mm-hmm. I don't get the logic. She's like, here, stab my dad with one of these needles, and then turns around and gets offended that there's only one needle left. And it's like, you knew there were 2! And she's like, what are we going to do? So, I don't know. I don't really feel that attached.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta say. Okay, this one is, I'm gonna say this one's Bella. Blonde. I like all the daughters. Their design is really fun. They give me Sarah Sanderson vibes from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put Bella in A. Cassandra.
Cassandra.
The one I would cosplay because she's got the black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daniela. I put an S because Nicole Tompkins is fun. I like her dialogue. That, and she's the youngest of the three, I believe. That might just be a headcanon, but I will accept it. She's not even the youngest. So
Why not?
Beneviento.
Yep.
Her herself, there's not really much to her. She's in funeral garb, and it's said that she lost her parents, and that's why she wears a funeral garb.
Mm-hmm.
But Angie's the main one which doesn't look like Angie's on here. So I might take Angie into consideration because it's her puppet.
Yeah.
So probably B. Nice middle, because again, doesn't really do much. She has one line of dialogue. Just one line. And that's it. It's mostly Angie that does everything.
Yeah, the puppet's cool, though.
Okay.
Alright.
The Duke.
Mr. Duke.
Then we'll put him. The Merchants.
Yeah.
Merchants together.
Well, put them together, but I mean, he definitely did add a lot to the game menu, especially when you were, interacting with him versus just what are you buying.
Yeah, like I said, I hope they really do that in the 4 remake and kind of do that with him. Because, I mean, yeah, he was a character you interact with. He can cook.
Yep.
There's that.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, and I just love watching him fold out of his thing. Like, he's a ball. He's a giant ball of a man. Heisey.
Steampunk Pete.
Steampunk Frankenstein. Okay, I just finished playing Village of Shadows yesterday. Fuck this man for that. That fight was bullshit. But that's the difficulty. When you take him as a character, he's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Neil Newbon's always fun. His voice, his accent, and kind of Nick Cagey was weird at first. Wasn't what I pictured one with his representation would sound like. Mentioned a more gruff voice.
Yeah.
But it kind of grew on me.
Yeah.
So I put him on A.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of Van Helsing.
Yeah. He's like kind of Van Helsing style.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Dimitrescu. She's the double S.
Well, I mean, come on. They had to add letters to figure out what size she was. And she's really fun in Mercenaries. Like, that's a power trip.
Yeah.
Well, her voice acting is perfect. Especially when she mutates and she's like, ah! Mother Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people complain about her boss fight, that you just shoot at her. A lot of boss fights technically are kind of just that.
Mm-hmm.
But I her design alone is like peak.
Yeah.
Like, I love her design, both as a human and then her mutated form's kind of cool. Not as cool as her human, but so I'll put her in S. Mm-hmm. Her manner of speech, again, at first was kind of weird, but then it's grown on me.
Yeah.
How she over enunciates everything.
You don't say.
I'm the best.
Oh, is that the swampy dude?
Yeah, Morel. At first I was like, ew, what the fuck is this guy? But I've gotten a soft spot for him.
He's got a very Quasimodo vibe to him.
Yeah, I'll put him in A.
Okay.
I know I made kind of a joke when I first did this. I didn't do a video, but just posting this, I did put him, like, top of everybody else as the best, as, like, kind of a goof. But
yeah,
in all honesty, probably that, because, I mean, a sympathetic character. His performance was really fun. Ethan was a fucking idiot and taking the jar. Instead of just taking it and leaving, he's like, I'm going to take this, like, bragging it in his face. And it's like, dude, just walk away. Now you're an asshole.
Pretty much.
Okay, Rose.
Rose.
Obviously in the game, she was just baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then, her end scene. Shadows of Rose, obviously, fleshed out a little more. She's a teenager. So, she's kind of got her cringe dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But again, teenager, like, come on. Not a whole lot to her. Obviously sympathetic because, losing her dad, being bullied. So I put him in B.
Okay.
Again, don't really feel super strong. Like, oh, she's such an amazing character, but don't like her.
Yeah.
It's one of those, see if in later, because I'm curious if, like, in Resi 9, let's say, if they bring her back, because, I mean, she just got to, like, accepting her powers, and then we know she is now working with either, presumably Chris's team, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be neat to kind of see that. Okay. Lexia.
Who's Lexia?
She's from Code Veronica.
Oh, okay.
I like her. I like her design.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
But...
An entertaining psychopath?
Yeah, well, kind of. Code Veronica, she was fine.
Uh-huh.
I like her dynamic with her brother. You don't see a whole lot of really cool brother-sister relationships, which, I mean, you know, Chris and Claire have that.
Mm-hmm.
Darkside Chronicles fucked her up.
Man.
I did not like her in Darkside Chronicles.
Hmm.
They made her way too childish, which the whole point of her was she graduated from university at the age of 10. She was highly intelligent and was presented, like, in Code Veronica as being very haughty and very, like, above everyone else because she was arrogant. In Darkside Chronicles, it was more because she was just a child and saw everyone as her toy. And I just didn't care for that.
Yeah.
As well as she killed her brother in that, which that was one of the main reasons I liked her in Code Veronica. And then she's like, ooh, I'm going to kill my brother because I'm an asshole. And it's like, speaking of brother. Dude, that friggin'... I honestly don't know what they would do with his character if they did a remake.
He really wasn't that integral.
Well, no, he was.
Really?
Yeah, he was like kind of the main villain. I'm talking about because he's a crossdresser. And I know some people see that as being transgender when he technically wasn't. It was a split personality representing his sister. I know there were some lines of dialogue in the original Code Veronica they definitely would not be able to have. Again, kind of, he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
I like his relationship with his sister because even though he's very much on the spectrum, we'll say.
Yeah.
In the original, his sister still loved him, and that's why I didn't like in Darkside Chronicles when she just cast him aside.
Yeah.
As a character, though, I mean, he does have some really fun dialogue, and his voice is very just like, it's annoying, but yet it fits his character.
Right.
Speaking of annoying voices. Oh, Stevie. Got one of the worst voice. He's a character that really got, like, the short end of the stick. Has one of the worst voice acting.
He's the red-headed stepchild of Resident Evil characters?
Something.
Redhead.
I got it.
Okay, sure.
But Darkside Chronicles really improved upon it. I mean, it was friggin' Sam Riegel.
Yeah.
So, and I read the novelization of the game before I played the game. So from that, I've got to put him up here. I have a soft spot for him.
Okay, we put him in S for soft spot.
Literally minus his freaking cringe-ass voice acting. But like I say, if going like on Cove...
Voice shaming.
It's just... Darkside Chronicles, his character, though kind of a Reader's Digest of the game, vastly improved.
Yeah.
I just want him to freaking be a bard and sing songs because it fucks my up. But same voice actor. Okay, now we get into like the obscure shit.
Yep.
Leon Kennedy from Wish. Like literally, these two are Leon and Ada from Wish. That's what they are. He's a U.S. agent sent because this is Dead Aim. He was like, I forget the details because I've never actually played the game. I did watch a playthrough on it. And then she is, for lack of a better term, basically a spy sent in. Or, you know, kind of the equivalent.
Yeah.
And then they kind of have a forbidden love. And she's like, oh, but I must go home to my country, blah, blah, blah. And then they got fucking weird neck physics in that game. But, I mean, but I put them both in D because, I mean, like I said, they're kind of attempts at Leon and Ada almost. They're too similar to really be able to look at them as like their own thing.
I have no idea.
Something Duvall, I think is his last name. He's the villain from Dead Aim.
See, I don't think I've ever watched Dead Aim.
Yeah, he turned into a cool female tyrant though. That was cool. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, yeah, because the whole thing was he had this weird obsession with like beauty and all that.
Yeah.
These are from the comics or manga. So this is from the I'm not sure in the pronunciation. It's like Mara, something like that. But it's pre-Resi 6. She's a fucking psychopath. Because I'm gonna lay down, at least from what I remember of the plot. It's been a while since I read them. But basically, Carla, wherever she is, there she is, basically was using this prestigious Asian university, I forget exactly where it's at, but it's like a private university, as a testing bed for the C virus. It was a private university. Her and a girl that she befriended, the girl was being bullied. Right. They went to run away. The headmistress was like, no, you can't leave. They ends up leading to the death of her friend. Carla basically is like, oh, hey, I can bring your friend back, infects her with the C virus. So then she, whose name I forget, controls her friend to basically cause an outbreak in the school. Huh. So, while I can appreciate her standing up for her friend because she was bullied and blah, 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 she's a fucking psychopath. Yep. I want to say his name is Doug. I can't remember. Okay. He's from the same comic. He's a BSA advisor that was a friend, possibly a lover, of the headmistress. So she, like, called him in, blah, blah, blah. Right. You know, kind of cool. Spoiler alert, he dies. Oh. I know. Yeah, put him in C, because, I mean, yeah, he was kind of cool, but there wasn't too much, like, character growth or anything. Yeah. I can't remember her name. She was sent with Chris and Piers. She's with the BSA. They were sent after the outbreak, like, actually really happened. They went there. Spoiler alert again, she dies. Oh. Her and Piers had a thing.
A thing?
She didn't really do much. She was there. She was kind of borderline just there for eye candy because they drew her in, like, skin-tight outfits, and there was a lot of ass shots because it's fucking manga. That's what they do. Headmistress in question. I mean, she led to the death of the one girl because she has this high standard of her school, and she's freaking a principal of a school and freaking school administration, so... Not quite as bad, but, you know, she was too worried about her school.
Well, you know, it's a habit.
Silence. She's wearing
a habit. You got
it. I want to say, it's hard to say because these pictures are small, this is the friend in question. That mutates.
Again, I've never seen any of these characters. So
yeah,
it's all
so I will put her in C because... Then, again, we didn't really get much of her. And then, you know, she basically became a bioweapons. And I'll put her in D because, again, she didn't really much. And then this is the nephew, I believe, of Old Man over here. He kind of served as the main, like, narrator character of the series. Okay. Again, not very memorable. I mean, he did survive.
From this angle, it looks like a leprechaun.
He's got the red hair.
Yeah. Okay. The gun there almost looks like a hat.
Kevin!
Is
he he's the only Outbreak character they put in here. Oh. No other Outbreak character, just freaking Kevin. I know he was the one that Jen always liked to play as an Outbreak because, you know, reasons. Calling her out. Yep. He's like the snarky cop. Kind of like, hey, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Does it go by your rules? So I put him B because, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck this bitch.
Okay.
She's from Revelations 1. And not just because she turned out to be a traitor and blah, 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 but, I mean, she spends a good part of the game hitting on Chris, and Chris is basically like, freaking, no. She's thirsty as all hell. And when they have to board the ship, they have, like, their kind of scuba suits, I guess, the wetsuits. Yeah. She has her whole damn leg exposed. So she's got one leg covered, and then the other leg exposed. So then she's just got a leg out, and it's like you're fucking fighting these things, and you're like, hey, look at my thighs. And wears her gun strap on it, which can't be comfortable. It's like, no. Okay. Parker something. He's from Revelations. He acts as, like, Jill's partner, basically.
Oh, okay.
He worked with her back at the FBC before the BSAA. And then he joined the BSAA, but he's a cool dude. I like him. So I'm going to put him in A.
Okay.
He's cool. Boo.
Boo.
Go away. Dude with the weird-ass anime haircut. Again, he was with Parker and her, Jessica. What the hell is his name? I can't remember. But they worked together with the FBC, and then he kind of ended up, at the end of everything, was actually working with her to help steal the virus. I put him a little bit above her, because he does have some sense of honor. He does help Parker, because Parker saved him.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is that haircut?
I don't know.
I don't know. They don't... Is she on here? No. So, a little shout out to freaking the blonde from the same game. Again, was with the FBC. You want to talk about anime haircut? She literally had her hair covering her entire face. And it's like, no wonder you died. You can't see. Okay. Alex Wesker. Plot twist of the series, possibly. One of. Because they talked about Alex Wesker in a note in 5, that, like, the Wesker Project, and that, Alex Wesker was another survivor. Not insinuating gender, so of course a lot of people default to, Alex Wesker must be male, and then, no, it's a Alexia clone wannabe.
Yep.
I mean, very Alexia inspired, as far as the whole, being this, like, evil mastermind, blah, blah, blah. She wanted to transcend to a superior being. Basically Albert's sister, technically. I mean, she was cool. Was kind of the whole purpose of the Revelations 2 story. So I'll put her in A. You know, we don't see a whole lot of her until you see her. She shoots herself, and then, oh no, she was afraid of dying in the last second, so that caused her to mutate. She turned into this hunchback thing. And then just had it out for freaking Natalia over here. Moira Burton, Barry's daughter. Probably B. I mean, she's kind of a fun character, a teenager, so there's a lot of the teenage cussing up a storm.
Teenage angst.
Yeah. Being a brat to her dad, which is, that's one part of the teenage life cycle I missed out on. Because her dad is Barry. How can you be mean? Okay. Talia, creepy little girl. But like a good creepy little girl. Like, she wasn't evil. She was a orphan survivor, basically, of the Revelations 1. The Terra Grigia thing. Was kind of just there to be... for Barry to basically be a dad to, essentially.
Oh, okay.
In his campaign. She's the secondary character.
Right.
She does have powers. Alex basically takes possession of her, essentially. Which is a cliffhanger that they have yet to address, because it's literally... It seems normal, Alex is dead, blah, blah, blah. And then she's reading... What is it, Franz Kafka's? I think that's the author's name. Reading one of his books, which is something that Alex was kind of obsessed with. And then it's hinted very much that Natalia had, in fact, been taken over by Alex. We still have yet to see that happen. Like, actually be addressed.
Yeah.
As a character, I'd put her in B. I mean, child.
Okay.
Didn't really, like I said, as far as, like, the main game and stuff, she was basically there for Barry to be, Papa Barry. Papa Barry. The fuck is his name? He's from Revelations 2 as well. Asshole. He's, like, the one that led Claire. He betrayed Claire.
Yeah.
Who may or may not have had feelings for him. Or at least a deep friendship, respect. And then he betrayed her.
Aw.
So he's an asshole. All because something with the FPC, blah, blah, blah. These are all survivors, which I've never played.
Yeah, that one looks like Penny from Inspector Gadget. Don't you?
I haven't watched Inspector Gadget in forever.
Well, I haven't either.
And then it's from Damnation. Or no, I'm sorry. Vendetta. The latest movie. This dude... There's this scene where he and Chris are fighting with guns, and they're literally right in front of each other, and they're just going, like, spinning around each other, shooting, and none of their shots are hitting. And they're not reloading either, and they're handguns, and they're just doing a ballerina dance with bullets flying everywhere, and it's stupid and hilarious. I love it.
Pirouette with bullets.
I mean, as a character, I mean, dude's freaking creepy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he lost his wife, which that was, sad, tragic, whatever. Yeah. Gets a creepy obsession with Rebecca because she resembled his wife. And then he was with Los Illuminados as well. There was that angle.
Oh, okay.
His would-be sister-in-law, I believe. The sister of his wife that, died.
Yeah.
Her design is kind of cool. Kind of got a weird dominatrix thing going. Like, she literally just kind of shows up, kidnaps Rebecca. Yeah. I mean, she does stuff. That's it. I believe, I want to say his name is Diego. He was her dad. So, his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Got basically salvaged from the explosion at the wedding. Turned into this bioweapon. So, I mean, yeah, he kind of just didn't do much.
Yeah.
He's just there. He has a Gatling gun and blows off this lady's arm, which is very comedic, even though it probably shouldn't have been. And then there's randomly this chick, Manuela, from Darkside Chronicles. I mean, again, she's kind of there to be a damsel for Leon and Krauser to save.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put her in B, kind of did some stuff. She's there. Don't really have super strong feelings on her one way or another. Another cliffhanger, they rescue her. They bring her back. She's infected with the Veronica virus. Never mentioned again.
Maybe she's cured.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, like I said, I've never seen these, those representations. I don't know who the hell these people are. Except for Penny from Inspector Gadget. I know her. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the list. This is where they fall, and this is where we think they are.
Yep.
All right. If you like what we did, like and subscribe. Other than that, we will endeavor to do another one sometime. So, I guess have a good day. Bye.
Bye.